Good morning. My name is Desiree Ferrer, and I am your analyst. I'm going to share screen here. All right, so this is the daily for SPY. What I'm seeing right now is tons of strength. So I see a beautiful double bottom pattern that's forming, but what we have to be careful right now is this area. This 400 or 399.64, which is now current resistance. And why we have to be careful is because of previous history. You can see here when we hit a high of 473.2, we were touching this 200 MA as resistance, and you can see where it rejected. Came down, came up, hit another high, 455, reject. Came all the way down, hit another high, 423, reject, and so forth. And then the last time was around 407. This is 407. This is 409, reject, and it's coming back on the 200 MA again. 200 MA is sitting at around 399, 400 area. Now, what I do see, though, that's different from the previous times is I see a beautiful double bottom. Like, this is a beautiful double bottom, and a double bottom is a bullish reversal pattern, right? I can see it here, and I can see it here. And I do see and feel a lot of strength in the market right now. You can see low, higher low, pointing up above 50, creating double bottom. This is strength right now. Now, I do think that there's going to be some tug of war and definitely a rejection here at this 399. Right now, our lower time frames are becoming overbought. This is the 4-hour right here. So you can see here we're already at about 86. I mean, we know what goes up must come down. What goes down, it starts to come back up. So that's what's happening here. We're pretty much at the top. We're exhausted. I do like how we closed yesterday. So remember I said we were consolidating between 387 and 393. Well, there was a lot of strength, and you can see that, we kind of had like a burst above. We were kind of trending and creeping all the way up to this resistance level, and then you have this big ass candle burst above. This is a breakout above a 393, and the good thing is we closed above this level yesterday. So what that's telling me is that this 393 is now new support. So when you have a breakout above that level, it becomes new support. There is a lot of strength because we are still above the 200 MA right now. We passed through that, we're above it, and this is on the 4-hour, which is signaling strength. But the caution part, like I said, is the fact that we're coming up on this very strong resistance on the daily, and our lower time frames are becoming overbought. So a pullback is necessary. So I think that we're going to have possibly some consolidation around this area here. So because we do need to create a pattern in order for stocks to keep going, we could possibly create a bullish flag, because you see there's consolidation here, breakout, could be some consolidation here before another breakout. But it's nice to see how far we fall once we hit this area. I don't think we're falling too far because I think we have too much strength right now, and we're probably going to keep it going, and we're going to continue to creep up, but we do have to anticipate for these pullbacks. So that's what I see here on the daily. You can see here on the monthly, we got a pretty candle that's forming. We talked about how this generally happens once we hit the bottom of this area. Then we normally go back up to the top, and that's what's been happening. Once the bottom has been hit, then it goes back up to the top, and that's kind of what we're doing currently right now. So the weekly is beautiful. This is a beautiful chart right now, and along with the daily, it looks very bullish here. We have this low, we have a higher low. We're finally pointing back, and if we break above 400, we'll be pointing up above 50, which is signaling strength. And we haven't been above 50 in some time here. We've kind of been consolidating below here, but once we start to get above this low RSI, that signals strength. And you can see here previously, when we got here to the bottom, and then we started rising up, and we stayed above into an overbought position for a while. That's when this is, I believe this is pre-COVID right here. Well, this is pre-COVID, and this is COVID, and then you see how we stayed overbought for a long time. It was only but for so long that was going to last before this pullback was necessary. And you could see we started pulling back at about 479.98, and then you could see here, you can even see it reflect on the weekly and kind of how we stayed above, but we're coming back, we're coming back, we're pointing up. So to me, I'm seeing a lot of signs for overall strength. That's what I'm seeing. So even if we have a pullback, that's necessary in order to create patterns for these smaller time frames. Because once we go into like overbought, we have to cool off a little bit. That's what I'm seeing. And the fact that we're coming up on this resistance here, a very tough resistance on the daily. And the fact that we're coming up on that, that's just showing me caution time. Just be cautious, but overall, very strong. You can see this 400 was held for quite some time, right? From here all the way to here until we fell here in May. And then we fell here in May. We've kind of been like on a roller coaster around this area here. Okay, so this 400 is going to be a pretty tough area to break, in my opinion. I mean, again, the strength is insane, though. The strength is insane. I really want to see how we close this week. I know we have CPI reports today, so it could definitely push it all the way above, and buyers could come in, or it could be the opposite, because we know how catalysts can drive the market in either direction. So yes, we have to be careful of that, but overall, the strength is insane. All right, so we got the 4 hour, we looked here. All right, so I had to take off the support here because when we closed above this level, it's now new support. I mean, we can still put it in because we are coming in like overbought. So I think that we're going to have to pull back. Even if we pull all the way back and come down to 387, I'm even fine with that in order for us to keep rising. I mean, we came here to 393, pulled back to 387, then we broke above 393. We would like to keep 393 as new support and then continue to rise, or either take it to 400 and then 393 would become new support. But either way, I think that this pullback is coming. It's either gonna go ahead and start pulling back now, or we're gonna take it to 400 and start pulling back. But because we do got catalysts in the mix today, you just have to be very cautious because it could be a burst either way, up or down, when it comes to the catalyst. And that's my only, that's my advice, to just be aware of that. I do pre-market around 8 a.m. Eastern time. So we're live when the catalyst comes out. We do have a community. We do have a expert catalyst trader that is on the show live with me. So we're kind of in conjunction every single morning working together, because I'm a price action trader. And then with the catalyst trader, it helps us kind of, combine everything together and put our ideas. But I have the description below if you're interested in joining our show each morning. It's in our Discord. All right, so let's take a look at SQQQ here. So SQQQ, you can see how we kind of been talking about this for the last couple of days, how we were in this bullish flag, but then we fell below it. Once we fell below it, the bottom of this flag became resistance, right? We have not broke through this wall since we fell through this flag. Yesterday, I seen that we were under the 200 MA on the 4 hour, and I'm like, yo, we're weak. So I had to create another support coming down, and you can see that we are kind of heading that way. We're coming into oversold here too. So it's moving in the opposite of SPY. Remember, on 4 hour with SPY, we were overbought. We were like above 84. Here it's down. So again, what comes up must come down. What is down must come up. But we're very bearish. We're very bearish. I can see that. Look at here. Look how we're pointing down here. We're pointing down. It's different with SPY. We were pointing up. Also, we closed slightly below this 200 MA. This is a pretty big candle here. This is a pretty big red candle. So we closed slightly below this 200 MA. This is definitely signaling more weakness. We closed at about 47.4, and we done hit a low of 47.2. Okay, so yeah, we're very low here. We're already hitting new lows. 47.2 is about down here. And it appears, I mean, I guess the catalyst will determine how we open and close in both SPY and SQQQ. But as of right now, because it's 5:57 a.m. my time, Eastern time, it appears right now that we're going to open up below this 200 MA. So if that's the case, definitely more bearish momentum coming in. That's what it's telling me. We're coming down on this support, which it was a consolidation around between November and December. There was a lot of consolidation around this area. So this support level, this 46.1 area right here, this is a pretty tough support area. Okay, so I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on how we close for SQQQ by Friday, but definitely, you know, very, very strong bearish sentiment in my opinion. Yep. So next support, we have 46.07 here. This is now new resistance. Just like I had to take that support off from SPY, we got to take this resistance off here because we're coming back down to this area. Once we get here, this is now the new resistance wall, which is 49.38. Once we broke it, it was support here. See, we created this support here, but once we fell through it, and now this is resistance. It's no longer support. Okay. All right, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. That's really all I got for you. My advice is that overall, we have a lot of strength in SPY, but we are coming up on a very tough resistance around 400, and it's at the 200 MA on the daily. And the lower time frames are overbought. So pullbacks are necessary, consolidation, whatever you want to call it, in order to create these patterns for us to continue to keep going. So overall, we're bullish, but you have to anticipate these pullbacks. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody have a great morning.